Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? This is Dan Henry with Getting Jplomin. Thank you so much for jumping on the webinar today. Without any further ado, let's get started. So today, guys, I'm going to take you through the webinar in 3 different sections. First section is how to lose 12 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks or less. That is our kind of our value proposition. That's what we're known for. That's what our that is what we do. That's our sandbox that we play in. Second portion of it will be how to turn this passion of health and fitness into a meaningful career. And third is opening up your own Get in Shape Woman franchise, so franchise opportunities. So let's get started. So we start every one of our webinars, all of our meetings, all of our daily huddles, and whatever we do with a positive focus. The reason we do that is because we understand that positivity will help to spur creativity, which is going to help to, not spur creativity, to help to harness creativity, which will then in turn make for a better meeting and make for a more productive meeting. So there's been so much work and so much research done in positivity and keeping a positive mental attitude that it really helps to add a lot of depth to your meeting when you start off your and you get rid of the negativity of the room. You start off your meeting with a positive focus. So I would suggest you guys type in your positive focus to me. Say it out loud. Say it to the person you happen to be sitting with. Just get it out there and make sure that you are able to put it out into the world. So I'll give you mine today. I'll do positive for both our professional and personally. Professionally, we had a great discovery day on Friday. We had a bunch of people show up, a lot of interest, a lot of excitement. So it's always great to have Discovery Day. We're having another one in September, and I'll mention that to you at the end of the middle and end of the webinar. But get excited. We hope to see you at Discovery Day. Personally, my positive focus was just a wonderful weekend with my family. We went down to my wife's grandmother's 90th birthday party, so it was just really fun to, be able to be with the family and listen to the stories of somebody who has been on this earth for quite some time. Very interesting. So really great weekend, and then just being with my son and my wife is always my top favorite thing to do anyway. All right, so I'm going to start us off, guys, by talking about our vision. Now, our vision is something we developed a couple years back with some offsite consulting. We really developed this vision, and we developed it in 3 different segments: our purpose, our core values, and what our current mission is. So our purpose is to empower women through body transformation. 6 simple words: empower women through body transformation. It's so powerful because when we defined our purpose, because every organization has a purpose and everybody has a purpose, but when you put it on paper and define what that purpose is, then it becomes the diagnostic check for your company. You're constantly going back and taking a look at it and saying, all right, is this decision I'm making going to help my purpose? By doing this workout, is this going to be better than this workout to help empower women through body transformation? This sales technique, all these different things, everything goes back to making sure that the major focus and the major purpose of Getting Shape Women is to empower women through body transformation. The next section is our core values. Now, our core values we put out to the world because we want everybody to see our core values. We want everybody to know what our core values are because it does 2 major things. One, by putting them out to the world, it attracts like-minded people. So people who share these same core values will be interested in jumping on board with the organization because they know that you and the organization share the exact same philosophies. The other thing it does is it helps to repel people who don't share that same core values. Now, I'm not saying somebody who doesn't share the same core values is a bad person. It's not the case. It just means they wouldn't be a good fit for our organization. So these are our core values. We treat our customers like family. It goes without saying, it's so important to us. My CEO and founder, when he first started his first company, he invited all of his clients, all 150 clients in his first fitness studio, to his wedding, because he looked at them so much like family members, because he was with them and he cared about them and loved them and wanted to make sure that they're doing the right thing and getting their results. And when he had to have tough conversations, he had to have tough conversations. And sometimes there was high-fiving, and sometimes there was tears, and sometimes it was just regular conversations. But it was a really great he treated them like family. That's so important in this organization. We have a passion for health and fitness. I think that goes without saying. I don't think we'd be in this business if we didn't have a passion for health and fitness. We believe in the power of positivity. Now, every one of our meetings, like I said, starts off with a positive focus. All of our it doesn't matter if it's an annual convention or a daily huddle. We inject positivity into everything. We push away and shy away from any sort of negativity to make sure that it's a really positive atmosphere. We wow our customers by exceeding expectations. We over-deliver and under-promise. It's the best thing you could possibly do. You really want to hit the hair back of all your clients. And that's what we want to do as well is with you as a franchisee. We want to make sure that we are really, really blowing your hair back and exceeding all expectations you'd ever expect from us. We check our egos at the door. If you have an ego, that means you know everything. And if you know everything, that means there's no more room for you to learn. And that really interrupts your daily process of learning more. And you're gonna miss out on all there is to learn that you don't already know. We are continually learning. Again, going back to learning, we devour business books here. We devour, fitness, all the new fitness things. We do everything. We're constantly double checking to make sure we're doing things the right way. We don't fall to the fads of the fitness industry, and we're not constantly changing the model. We do our diligent research to make sure that if we're going to make a change, we're going to make a change for the better, and it's going to be something that's proven and that's going to help empower our women through body transformation. We believe in honest and open communication. It's so important to not have that air of dishonesty out there. We need to clear the air. We need to make sure that we're having these really honest communication, because if we do that, then we know that we're helping to lead people to success. We're helping to let them know that we care about them and we're there to help them. We believe accountability leads to success. Accountability is one of our 4 components, and it's one of the most important of our components, because we know that you need to be held accountable, and we want to hold you accountable to make sure you're successful. That's the only way you're going to achieve success, if you're being held accountable. We love what we do. None of us work a day here. We all joke about that, because we really, really love our job. We really love what we do. We love to empower women. We love the meaningful work that we're taking part in every day of our lives. That's really, really important to be part of that meaningful work. So that is those are the core values that we put out to the world. The next part of our vision so we have the purpose, core values, and the next part is our current mission, and that is what our goal is. And that is Jim Collins calls it the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal. And so we set this up, and what we did after we set this goal is we built growth strategies around the goal to make sure that we can be successful. Our current mission: to open 500 locations by 2024 by developing the best fitness franchise model in the world. Right now, we have the best. We're confident we have the best fitness franchise model in the world. We have the best transformation model in the world. And now we just need to get those out there. Right now, we have 87 studios throughout the country, and we're looking to grow, and we have the growth strategy set up to get to that 500 locations, and we know we can do it. So now to get into, We talked about that. Let's get into how to lose those 12 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks or less. Body transformation is the name of the game. Is what we do. Is how it's it's what our it's what our I love to go back to Jim Collins. It's what our sandbox is. Um, we're the only ones really focusing on transformation, and we know that in order to achieve transformation, you need the sum of all four parts of transformation is the sum of all four parts of weight training, cardio, nutrition, and accountability. Those four things, weight training, cardio, nutrition, and accountability, is what makes up the Get in Shape Woman model, and those four things help to achieve body transformation. Weight training, so important. We get out there, we make sure that, your weight training is going to do a bunch of different things. It's going to help increase your lean body mass. By putting on more muscle, you're going to increase your resting metabolism, which means you're going to burn more calories per day just by doing weight training. When you're just resting, you're going to be burning more calories. Other benefits of it, balance. We have a lot of older women in our model who are, that's something they really want to work on. Core strength, bone density, especially as you get older with osteoporosis, is very important. All these different things are side effects of weight training, and it's really important to strength train. Cardio. Now, this cardio we do is a high-intensity interval cardio. It's not just walking on a treadmill for 20 minutes. It's doing high-intensity intervals where you're doing a steady state period where you're slightly above comfortable, and then you're doing a full-out, all-out interval where you're at your absolute number 10 on your rates of perceived exertion. So you couldn't even take one more extra step if you didn't, we give you $100 by the time that interval is done. And that's what you want to be at. That's where you want to be for your high intensity interval. Why do we do high intensity interval? Well, it's the most efficient calorimetric burn over a short period of time. You could burn the same amount of calories you would for a long, slow distance run. So it's going to be efficient. It's going to be time saving, but it's going to be really, it's going to be very, very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Effective. Sorry about that. I just drew a blank on that word. It's going to help to burn fat. It's going to create an afterburn effect as well, where you're going to continue to burn calories after you get off the treadmill, while you're sitting there, just sitting at your desk after you go back to work or whatever you're doing. Those are some really important aspects of that. Nutrition. Nutrition may be our most important of our four components. Weight training and cardio are really, really important, but nutrition, you can't work off a bad diet. Nutrition, we're looking at 1,300 to 1,600 calories per day. 100 grams of protein minimum. So that means we know that if you're eating 100 grams of protein, you're putting in good quality food into your diet, into those 1,300 to 1,600 calories. You're not just eating 1,600 calories of funnel cake. 8 to 10 glasses of water, 64 ounces of water minimum a day. Eat every 2 to 3 hours. Eat 6 times a day. That's what you want to be trying to do. And then one free day where we don't care what you do. Go out, drink a bottle of wine, eat a pizza, eat French fries. We don't care. That free day is supposed to help you to get all those things out of your system, so you'll be less likely to cheat during your week. So that's our nutrition framework. Now, we're not registered dietitians. We're not prescribing diets here. We're retraining people how to eat. We're retraining them to eat, really good quality foods, and we're teaching them about nutrition through a nutrition framework and blueprint. And then accountability. You need to hold yourself accountable, and we help to hold you accountable as well. We do that through weekly weigh-ins. We do that through, motivating, talking about nutrition during the workout, pushing you on your cardio, pushing you on your weight training, really making sure that you're hitting that number 10 on your rates of perceived exertion all the time. Hard conversations. It's those conversations that when we look up and sit with you and you put on 2 pounds over the week, we had to sit down and go, hey, what happened, Sally? Last week you're on target and you put 2 pounds on, and 9 times out of 10, they know exactly what they did, but it's having that conversation and helping to hold them accountable to it. It just helps to manage all the bad behaviors that all of us can slip into. Workout of the week. This is what we send off to all of our franchisees. Get a copy of this, and it's a systematic weight training, strength training workout using a bunch of different mediums like stability training, kettlebells, dumbbells, suspension training, body weight. All these different things are we use to help through that focused workout of the week. You'll receive one of these as a franchisor or as a manager once a week from us, and every week you'll get a new workout where that's what all the ladies will be doing during that week. So that brings us to how to lose those 12 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks or less. We talked about nutrition being so important in the weight training process and in the cardio. All of those things need to be held together in order to help you create that compelling transformation. Now, the next part of this webinar is how to turn that passion into a meaningful career. The current career opportunities we have at Get in Shape for Women are the manager, full-time trainer, and part-time trainer. Now, manager runs the studio. They're kind of the backbone of the studio. They schedule the workout. They schedule the free sessions. They schedule the trainers. They train the trainers. They on the day-to-day of the studio, they train. They do the sales. They do all the answering of the phone calls. They run the studio. They make it tick. Full-time trainer and part-time trainer, your job is to execute the 4 components at the highest possible level, and that's the job that you have to do. You need to make sure those 4 components are being executed at the highest level, and it's going to help you to achieve that transformation. It's going to help your clients to achieve that transformation. This is how you apply. Go to getinshapeforwomen.com. We have a web form right there. You fill it out. There is a preferred location tab. You choose the location that's close to you or a bunch of locations you're interested in. Or if there isn't something around you, you can then put in a location that you would like to see us open in. So, for example, you're living in Denver, Colorado, and you want, you're a talented person, you got the experience, and you would love to work for Get in Shape for Women. Put in Denver, Colorado, because then when somebody comes up who is interested in that area, we could be like, well, we really suggest you open up in Denver because we already have talented people there that we know of who can help to make your business very successful, and we can pass your resume along to any of the owners. They have that pool of resumes to pick from. We have 87 locations in 17 states right now, and we're starting that rapid expansion soon. So really make sure that you're letting us know where you are. Put your resume in for places around you, and we would love to get you on board to work with Get in Shape for Women. So that's the second part. Now the last part, guys, is how to open your own Get in Shape for Women franchise. Franchise opportunities. So majority of our opportunities are single and multi-unit ownership. That's the major section of what we do. One of the other things that we're starting to do, I can get that in a little bit. Let's take you through this flow chart first. So this is the flow chart that you guys will follow through your process of opening up your own studio. So you can see here, you're in the webinar now. What you'll do after the webinar is we'll schedule an initial phone call to have a conversation. You and I will schedule a phone call, and you can ask any questions about the webinar. You can ask any questions about Get in Shape for Women. You can ask any questions about basically anything you want to talk about the franchise, and we can talk about it in that initial phone call. After that, Discovery Day. Take out your calendars now, guys. Go into your Outlook, go into your Mac, your iCal, whatever you use for a calendar. Take out your at a glance. Put a big red circle around September 25th. Fill out the time period from 10 a.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern, and right in there, Get in Shape Women Discovery Day. Make sure you make it up to our corporate office in Needham, Massachusetts. Come in. We would love to have you because we really want to open up. We really want to help you open up a studio. And the next step is you have to come to a Discovery Day. After Discovery Day, we'll hold some territories for you while you're going through your FDD. You'll sign the FDD. After 15 days of being disclosed with it, you have your new franchisee checklist. That will list everything you need to do in order to become a franchisee. Once you sign the FDD to open up your studio, we'll start the site selection process. We'll send letters of intent, LOIs, out to landlords. We'll go through lease negotiation. We'll do floor plans. We'll build out. We'll help coach you through the build out. We'll help to give you best practices for hiring your team. You'll come to franchise school, which is actually happening right now as we're speaking at our corporate office. And it's that opportunity for all the franchisees and all their managers to come in and learn how to run a Get in Shape Women studio. Grand opening. After the grand opening, you'll have a site visit within a couple of days from one of our support teams. All year-round support. We'll get in support a little bit later on, but we give a ton, probably the most support I've ever heard of any other franchise giving to their owners. After that, a one-year analysis, and then take a look and see if we're ready to open up a second studio. Now, this is something that I said I'd talk about a little bit later on. This is a new thing that we're doing. We have 15 area representative opportunities throughout the entire country. Now, we can talk more about this on our call, but it's a really, really excellent opportunity to open up a studio, to get more out of your Get in Shape Women. We're being very selective about who we hire on as our, or who we allow to buy our AR territories. What I'll just touch base on is this. An AR will own a studio in their territory, and then they'll be responsible for helping to sell and support multiple up to 40 studios in their territories. You can see two territories are sold. To get, because of all that hard work, what you get in return is that you'll get a half of each franchise fee of all the new studios coming on board, and half of all the royalties for all the studios in your territory. It's a really, really great opportunity. You can see there's a lot of opportunity. We're being very selective with these. If this is something that you're interested in, schedule that phone call. Let's have a conversation about it. We can talk about next steps with the AR. Now, you saw that revenue number up there before. Let's talk about where do we get that revenue? How does it come in? The major portion of revenue is through sales. Now, new sales are all the sales are coming in coming in as a lead, and then we're closing them as a new sale. Now, we allow people to upgrade from the package they signed up for to a larger package. We give them, the ability to upgrade in the first 30 days and get the retro pricing on it. And then renewals, as anybody who's renewing after their package is complete. We also are launching a private label protein company that we'll use in all of these studios. It's the Get in Shape Women Protein. We've worked with developers and really put a lot of time and effort into getting a nice grass-fed, high protein whey. And this is going to be a really great selling point to help you sell more protein and create more revenue in your studios. Now, one of the things I talked to you a little bit earlier is about our support, and we have a ton of support. And just taking a look at some of them, franchise school, our weekly owner call. It means there's a weekly owner call that we do with our CEO and our president every week for all the owners. Weekly support calls with our support team. monthly coaching calls with the owner and president, with the CEO and president, quarterly coaching workshops that we'll have off-site, and we'll really dig into a full day of coaching, and the annual convention that we do every year, 2 full days of coaching, and just really great support. So this is just a small glimpse into how much support we offer. Business development coaching. It's another thing that we do here. We believe that your future is better than you think it is. That is not just a tagline. We know it is. We know that you can grow 10 times where you are now. That's all about what our business development coaching is to help you grow 10 times in everything you are, in everything you're doing right now. We know that you have that possibility to do it. One of the tools that we use to do that business development coaching is our 10x Future. I've done this. We've all done it in the office. It's a phenomenal exercise. And what you do is you put this down and you start yourself off at where you are now, and you grow yourself, and you put it down. And by putting that down in ink, you are really solidifying yourself, going, wow, this is something that can be done, something I can do. So really important to put this down there. We've all done it. I had a really great time doing this because once I saw what I put up there, I realized that I have that capability of hitting all those 10x goals. Here's our 12 modules. This is our Get in Shape Women system. This is what we follow on. This is all of our coaching calls, are reviewing parts of these systems to make sure that everybody's up to date and anything is changing, and make the system is being executed at the highest level. Now, to kind of get on the operational side, now that we've gone through some where the revenue is coming from and how we support, opening up your studio, we have a pretty wide range of 51 to 200,000 because we know that there's a bunch of different factors that are involved. We get really great deals for equipment financing, for example. And you can either finance it or you can pay for it all out straight. We get great deals on, we will help you through the build out and letter of intent process, and we'll push hard to get some money, some tenant improvement money for you, or to get the landlord to do the build out for you all together. So you'll have, there's a big range there. So that's why you can kind of take a look at it and kind of get an idea of where the startup costs come from. This is one of our sample studio expenses. You can take a look at this. I didn't put any royalty in there. This is about a monthly sample studio expense. I didn't put any royalty in there because we don't want to make any sort of earnings claims about, about what you could potentially be making. But I'll show you in a minute how much we charge, so you can kind of do a pro forma from there with some of these expenses. Here is our item 19. This is what we can talk about. This is our financial performance representation. This is what we can talk about in terms of what we're able to, what kind of financial performance you can expect from Get in Shape Women. So just our average of all of our studios that are open for greater than 1 day, you can take a look at that. But the income before manager salary of that is $73,000. So just our average, most run-of-the-mill studio is doing that. And then we had over 50% of our people achieve that. Now, the people you should be aiming for and the people we want to have come on board as franchisees are the ones who want to be in that top 10%. And they're the ones who want to hit these numbers. And you can see monthly revenues, $39,000. Average monthly revenues for our top 10%, $39,317. Average monthly operating expenses of $20,000, and an average income of $22,000 before manager salary of $22,012. These studios are, all these studios that you see here, there's not one, they're run by male and female. They're run by a single unit owner and multi-unit owner. They're run by fitness professionals and people who never worked in the fitness industry. So all these people have, there's different, the one thing that all of them have in common is all of them execute the system. They execute those 12 modules to a T, to the highest ability. And that's what they do, and that's how they get these numbers, and that's how they're in our top 10%. So our hours of operation that we're open, 6 a.m. to 12, 4 to 8, then 8 to 12 on Saturdays. You can grow a little bit as you start to fill your studio up. Your studio is filled at about 150 women, but you know we have studios that have 200 women because they start to expand their hours a little bit. And you know you expand to 12:30, maybe open up at 3:30, or maybe you expand 6 a.m. to 1, open up at 3 to 8, and you just have from 1 to 3 that dead time in the middle, depending on what your studio kind of calls for. Maybe you open up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday as opposed to just 8 o'clock. So there's a lot of different ways of kind of expanding your hours. So here are our training options. So now you've seen our hours of operation. We talked to you a little bit about sample studio expenses. We are a paid in full model, but we break this down per session. So if you sign up for 3 months, you'll be paying, 3 times a week, $1,209 up front, but that's broken down to $31 per session. 6 months, we give you a price break at $26 a session, and 12 months, we give you a price break at $21 per session. So when you go to upgrade, so say you sign up for a 3 month or a 6 month, and you go to upgrade in the first 30 days, you'll get retroed back to that $21 per session or that $26 per session, depending on what you're upgrading to. So that is the pricing model, how Get in Shape for Women is. Like I said, you can take these pricings and plug it in however you want to plug it in to figure out, into a pro forma and figure out, any questions about that for financial performance. Technology. We do a lot with technology. We're not like overwhelmingly everything has to be tech. But we recently have started using a company called MindBody Online in the last almost 2 years now, and MindBody has been a great resource because what they do is they are basically a CRM for us, where they keep all of our customer information, all of our lead information, all of our upgrade information, all of our renewal information. We run them as a credit card processor. So we run our credit card processing. Online scheduling is all done through there. We have built an app with a company called Fitness Mobile app that was acquired by MindBody, and so our app runs directly and is connected directly with the MindBody schedule. So really, really great tool in our studios for us to kind of keep up with all of our clients. So kind of dig a little bit into our territory selection. This is getting into how we actually pick out the studios, how we pick out our territories. What I would suggest to you guys is go to this website. We even start here sometimes, zipwho.com. It's a free website. You can just go on there. You can start researching some areas. Now this gives you, some really great kind of metrics. The two major metrics we're concerned about are median income and population. Those are the two big things that we look at. Now there's other things, of course, that we add in there, but those are our major focuses. After that, we start looking for locations in those areas where we'll use LoopNet, CoStar, Craigslist. I have a litany of real estate professionals that I work with who will really help to help us find the perfect location. This is a location that is in Great Neck, New York. Great location. What we look for is great parking. We don't need to be bright lights downtown big city, but what we need is great parking. We'd love to have a great anchor. We want to have great visibility, good landlord, clean facilities, and that's what we look for. But it doesn't need to be in the downtown perfect. We are a destination location. People will come to us. So then we start we dig deeper into that demographic research with some online software that we use, some web-based software that we pay a good amount of money for to get all this information from Get in Shape for Women. I mean, from the Census Bureau. So look at the demographic and income profiles as well. You can look at this. That 3-mile radius, that studio, 191,000 people. You only need 150 people to fill your studio. 8,000 households making over $200,000 a year. This is just a great area. 82,000 household median income. So really, really, really phenomenal area, we would love to see some, somebody build a territory in this area. This is our sample floor plan. This is what we show you when you go in there. We'll build this out for you with the dimensions of the place that you're looking for. Our normal location is about 700 to 1,200 square feet. So this location is awesome. This location is like 1,100 square feet. So we built this floor plan out, and now we actually have this studio is open up in Santa Rosa, California. It looks exactly like the way this is set up. Here's just some pictures from our quarterly meeting. This is what we do every quarter. We have all the managers, all the trainers, all the managers, all the owners. Really, really important to get to get you guys out to it, because so much big training and so much great training happens at these quarterly meetings. Here's some of the awards that we hand out. Monthly we get first place trophy, quarterly we get first place trophy, and annually we give a first place trophy for franchisee of the year, multi-unit owner of the year, and the most improved franchisee of the year. We also do top 10 recognition of everybody who's on the top 10 board for that year. A couple accolades that we're very proud of. Franchise 500 is just a massive, massive, list to be part of, and we've been on it for 5 years in a row, and we're ranked 289, so we have really good ranking as well for a smaller company. Inc. 5000 as well. Just really very proud to be on these two lists that are just such big benchmarks in the industry. So this is just a handful of books, guys, that we've all read and really suggest you reading as well as you're starting to think about opening up a business. Really great to learn from a lot of these books. Like I said, Good to Great, Jim Collins. I've quoted him twice during this webinar alone. I'll do it a third time where he talks about good being good is the enemy of great, and just really phenomenal books that will really inspire. So guys, the initial phone call, I'm going to put this back up at the end of this presentation as well. But this is a little bit of housekeeping stuff that I want to make sure that you get out there. Initial phone call, let's schedule one. Here's my information. Here's my contact. Write this stuff down. Again, I'll put it back up for you to write down later on. Give me a call, write me an email, let's schedule the first phone call. Let's talk about what your goals are. Let's talk about where your current situation is. Let's answer any questions you have from the webinar. Let's talk about what you want us to do in Get in Shape for Women, and we'll move from there. Next step, Discovery Day. Like I told you, get that pen. Big Circle, Friday, September 25th, 10 to 3 at our corporate office in Needham, Mass. We can't wait to meet you. We can't wait to see you here. There's all the contact information. There's my contact information. There's the information about Discovery Day. So let's get you guys out to it, and I really look forward to seeing you all show up. Guys, I'd love to open up the floor for some question answering. So please feel free to shoot out any questions you have, and I can answer any of them. And if I can't answer them, then we can, I can get you the answers and come back to you later on about them. All right, first question. If I join Get in Shape for Women as a franchise owner, will I be expected to manage the studio full time, or can I hire a manager, client, sales, and training within the studio? You can, yeah, absolutely. We think it's great for clients for owners to be the managers as well to do that. But if you don't want to be the manager, completely understandable. If you want to hire staff, absolutely. We just want you to commit those full-time efforts to the studio to help to train the staff, to manage the staff, to come over the top with your weekly meetings, making sure you're hitting your weekly and monthly meeting rhythms. And you got to be in the studio to learn meeting the people. But if you want to hire a manager, completely understandable. We definitely have people who have managers, especially as you grow and you're a multi-unit owner. You have to have managers in place. You can't just manage your studios. You have to have someone in there. So really great question. All right, what other questions you guys have for me? All right, if I have no fitness background, can I be a member? Can I if I have no fitness background, can I run and get in shape for women? Yeah, of course you can. Absolutely. You know, it's a super plus to have fitness background, but if you don't have it, it's not a necessity. So we will help to train you through that process. You know, we want to make sure that you have that ability to run a business. We want to help to train you through all that stuff. So, you know, there's definitely certain things we're going to look for in your personality. We're going to look for in your experience. But, you know, we have multiple people who are very successful with zero fitness background whatsoever. Guys, it is 12:45, so I'm going to let you go because I told you I'll get you off by 12:45 today. Oh, wait, one more question, Nancy. Go ahead. How long does it typically take for studios to become cash flow positive? I actually can't answer that question for you. Part of franchising is that we are governed by the FTC. The FTC says that we're not allowed to make any sort of financial representation that's not listed in our item 19 that I showed you earlier. So I'm not by law allowed to make any sort of financial claim saying that you're going to be cash flow positive in, month blank. I've given you sample expenses. I've given you, how we charge. We're paid in full. You can kind of put together a pro forma for yourself. But what I can't put that out there. No, completely understand. No one knows those little rules about franchising, especially if it's your first time in a franchise. It's first time dipping into this, so no one knows those rules. So it's not a big deal. It's a great question. It's a phenomenal question. I'm glad you asked that. Any other questions, guys? All right, so what I'd like to do now is I would love to just finish off with some final thoughts, guys. I will answer any other questions you have during our initial phone call, and I'll let you guys get back onto your day. Final thoughts is, it's just that. It's the final thought that we have for our entire meeting. So what I want to talk to you about for my final thought today is, I want you guys to do that as well. I want you to put out your final thoughts to the world. Write it into me, type it into me, or you can just say that to the world and just say it into the air that's around you. My final thoughts is kind of dig on something that I talked about earlier in doing meaningful work. And I talk about meaningful work a lot, and I'll talk to you about meaningful work some more. But meaningful work is really, really important. And once you do, all of us work. All of us have jobs, and all of us do work. But when you do work that really means something to you, when you do work that's running your own business and making a difference in somebody else's life, it doesn't feel like work anymore for the rest of your life. It is really, really, really one of the great things about doing what I do is that every day in my life I know that I'm doing meaningful work. So guys, thank you so much for taking the time with me today. I'm going to leave this up for a couple minutes. I'm going to hang up and let you guys get that information down. Schedule your phone call with me. Circle Discovery Day, September 25th. I can't wait to meet you. And we'll be in touch, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.